The rise of King Sekhukhune, Lion of the Bapedi Kingdom. In the heart of what is today Limpopo, long before borders shaped the modern state of South Africa, there stood a kingdom forged by iron, cattle, and the unbroken spirit of its people, the Bapedi Kingdom. And at the center of its rise stood a figure whispered with pride in African history. King Sekhukhune, the warrior king who defied empires, united his people, and carved his name into the legacy of Southern Africa. Today, we journey into the story of his birth, his battles, his rule, and the legacy he left behind. Child of Destiny. Sekhukhune was born around the year 1820, the son of King Sekwati, a respected ruler who rebuilt the Pedi nation after years of conflict. As a young boy, Sekhukhune grew up during a time of change. The land was restless. Neighboring kingdoms battled for survival. European missionaries were entering the region. Guns were replacing spears. And the Bapedi kingdom found itself standing at the crossroads of tradition and invasion. From early on, he displayed sharp intelligence, physical strength, and an ability to command respect. Elders noticed that, even as a child, he asked questions not common for boys his age. Why do our enemies seek our cattle? Why do strangers cross our lands? How does a king protect the people? These questions would later shape his destiny. The making of a leader. As Sekhukhune entered manhood, the region was shifting. The Limpopo interior had become a contested ground for kingdoms such as the Zulu, Ndebele, Swazi, and European forces. Cattle raiding increased. Missionaries built stations. Traders wanted minerals, especially iron, and later rumors of gold. Through all this, Sekhukhune learned three crucial values from his father, King Sekwati. 1. Unity is strength. 2. Cattle are the heart of the nation. 3. Iron makes the kingdom powerful. The Pedi people were skilled ironworkers, forging tools and weapons that gave them status among neighboring kingdoms. Sekhukhune recognized this skill as a source of power long before colonial invaders understood its importance. A fight for the throne. When King Sekwati died in 1861, the question of succession arose. Pedi royal succession could be complex because it depended on lineage and status of the mothers. A rival claimant sought the throne, and for a brief moment, the kingdom was split. But Sekhukhune acted with precision. Through diplomacy and calculated strength, he secured key alliances among senior warriors, chiefs, and influential families. After a short internal conflict, he officially ascended the throne as King Sekhukhune, ruler of the Bapedi. His coronation marked the beginning of one of the most powerful reigns in northern Sotho history. Building a nation. As King Sekhukhune focused on three goals. 1. Strengthen the army. He reorganized age regiments, trained warriors in formation combat, and encouraged the acquisition of firearms. Some firearms were bought from traders, others were captured from enemies. 2. Expand the economy. He encouraged cattle breeding and iron production. Foreign traders were allowed to operate under strict conditions. No outsider could take land, enslave people, or exploit resources without royal approval. 3. Unite the Bapedi kingdom. Under his rule, once scattered clans were brought together. Marriage alliances were formed. Smaller chiefdoms became part of the Pedi polity. Sekhukhune's kingdom thrived. His capital, Dlabiemosega, became a center of commerce, culture, and military power recognized across southern Africa. The coming storm. But prosperity attracted enemies. By the late 1890s, foreign interests, particularly the Boers of the Zuid-Afrikaanse Republiek, ZAR, and later the British, wanted control over cattle, labor, minerals and land. To them, Sekhukhune's growing kingdom was a threat and an obstacle. To Sekhukhune, foreign interference was threat to sovereignty. Clashes became inevitable. The First Sekhukhune War, 1876. The Boers of the Zuid-Afrikaanse Republiek, ZAR, launched an attack hoping to break Pedi power quickly. But Sekhukhune, a master strategist, used mountain defenses, ambush tactics, fortified strongholds, knowledge of terrain. The Boers of the Zuid-Afrikaanse Republiek, ZAR, suffered heavy losses. The great King Sekhukhune was victorious and other battles soon followed. King Sekhukhune's victory battles soon made headlines in Europe and generals were called to devise strategies to conquer King Sekhukhune. The Second Sekhukhune War, 1879. This time the British Empire joined the attack, pulling tens of thousands army soldiers, cannons, troops including Swazi warriors. The Swazi warriors were promised cattle and weapons. Traitors who had no vision. Sekhukhune's forces were overwhelmed. His stronghold at Thaba Mosega was breached after fierce resistance. Sekhukhune was captured. The once proud king was now a prisoner of the very empire he had resisted for years. The king's final days. Sekhukhune was later released, but the kingdom he returned to had changed. British and Boer interests, internal pressure, and shifting alliances weakened the Pedi state. In 1882, Sekhukhune died under tragic circumstances, reportedly killed in a dynastic dispute allegedly by his half-brother Mampiru, who sought the throne. His death marked the end of a golden era, but not the end of his legacy. The legacy of a lion. Today, King Sekhukhune is remembered as a symbol of resistance against colonial forces, a unifier of the Bapedi people, a builder of one of the strongest pre-colonial kingdoms in South Africa. Across Limpopo and beyond, schools, municipalities, landmarks, and cultural institutions carry his name. His spirit lives on in the oral traditions, praises, and memories of the Pedi nation. Sekhukhune remains a timeless reminder that African leadership was powerful, structured, and resilient long before colonial rule. And so, from the mountains of Thaba Mosega to the pages of South African history, the story of King Sekhukhune stands as a monument to African courage. A king, a warrior, a strategist, a nation builder. His legacy continues to echo across generations. This is the story of King Sekhukhune, Lion of the Bapedi Kingdom. If you liked this documentary, please subscribe to the channel.